This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. The older I get, the more I learn that this word is so important in our lives. And on many different levels, the word is trust. Yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, I trust that person. But there's so much more going on there. Trusting yourself, trusting the universe. My friends and I have a phrase we use, trust the process. And when you start looking deeper into what that might mean, really rings true. We're going to talk about trust today. And on many different levels, one of those being energy. She's a Reiki master practitioner at Calming Vibrations. And it's so great to have her back. I trust we always have a great show whenever she's with us. She's back with us, Samantha Somerville, on the program. How you doing today?
Doing well in yourself.
Good, good. This whole trust thing, it's real important to pilot our lives in a positive way, isn't it?
It is. It is. Because, I mean, it's something that connects us all. It's a journey of learning to rebuild it in ourselves and in others. Because rebuilding trust takes time. It's
Yeah.
not something that happens all at once, but something that unfolds gently, layer by layer, like a petal of a flower opening in the sun. So it takes time. As humans, we're not born distrusting. When we come into the world, we're wide open, curious, innocent, full
Yeah.
of love. We trust easily. We trust the arms that hold us, the voices that soothe us, the rhythms of the world around us. But as we grow, life teaches us lessons, some gentle, some harsh, and we learn that not everyone keeps their promises, and that not everything is what it seems, and that
Mhm.
love can sometimes hurt. And with those lessons, walls begin to rise up around our hearts.
Yep.
We start to protect ourselves. We hold back. We start to question. But it's a part of being human. We learn how to navigate the world. Sometimes those walls that protect us can become barriers that keep us from truly connecting with others and even with ourselves, though.
I like what you said, all of that, but especially when we're kids, we trust. And
Mhm.
I'm going to be very honest here and tell you my lesson in the last few years, even more so this year, is I trust too easily. And I know that's like a beautiful thing, I think. Like, I just trust you. Handshake, we're good. It's gotten me into some challenges because I trust too much. I trust too easily. Um, in many different ways. So I'm looking at that in a different way. Um, and a lot of it is also expectations and communication. When somebody has a view of something, you have a view of something, you think you're on the same page, but unless it's clearly defined, um, challenges can ensue. And a lot of times it comes back to trust. Um, what aspect do you want to look at trust today? The energetic aspect, the universe? What do you think?
We're going to talk about the energy of trust and
Hmm,
like our chakras and how Reiki can help support that. And then I'm going to give you a little quick meditation at the end. So we'll
beautiful.
talk through that. So now, when we talk about trust from an energetic perspective, we can look to the chakras, which we've talked about. The body's energy centers that mirror our emotional and spiritual state. So trust begins with safety, and safety lives in your root chakra at the base of your spine. So this is the foundation of our being. It's connected to our sense of belonging and stability. So when the root feels secure, we can open to life and be more confident and calm. So the sacral chakra, which is located in your lower abdomen, where we hold all of our emotions and memories of intimacy and connection. When we're hurt or betrayal happens, we often store pain here and letting it spin quietly beneath the surface, unseen and deeply felt. Then there's the heart chakra, which is the bridge between your physical and spiritual realms, between giving and receiving. So when our heart chakra is wounded, we close off from love and
Hmm.
trust and vulnerability. Then you have your throat chakra, because trust requires communication. expression and honesty, both with ourselves and others. And finally, as we go up, the crown chakra, top of the head, reminds us that trust is also a spiritual act. It's an act of faith in the unseen, in the flow of life and divine timing, something larger than ourselves. We believe that that will happen. We believe, we put trust into something we don't know. So these energy centers are balanced, trust flows naturally. But when one is blocked, especially like the root or the heart, the flow between them is disrupted. We may feel unsafe, disconnected, or uncertain of our own intuition. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust what we're thinking, what we believe. So if you like Reiki or working on your energy in other ways can help restore that balance.
So let's go there. Let's say that you were in a relationship and a personal
Mhm.
relationship, and trust was breached by the other person. How can Reiki support you, either seeing things in a different way or getting your trust back potentially for that person? Looking at it through the lens of that type of challenge, what can you do? What can be done?
Well, Reiki itself is a deeply compassionate energy that moves to where it's needed most. So you want to remember that in every Reiki session, no matter why you're going there or for whatever reason. When we've been hurt, our bodies hold on to that pain. It's like a residue that settles into the energy field. So Reiki gently loosens it and lifts it, and allowing light and warmth to move back into those spaces. So it flows through the body and it strengthens the root chakra, creating a feeling of safety and grounding. It'll soften the sacral chakra. It'll help you release that stored emotion and reconnect to your creativity and joy, which we've talked about joy before. And the heart chakra, and allowing love and forgiveness to move freely again. So it doesn't erase the past. It doesn't erase what happened, but it helps you hold it differently with a softness instead of that tension, and
Mm,
with compassion instead of fear. So it helps you remember that trust is not only about others, but is a learning to trust yourself again, to trust that your intuition knows the truth, that your body knows how to heal, that your heart can open again, not because it was never hurt, but because it was resilient beyond measure, that you have that ability to reconnect, reopen yourself, and that is not, that will not end
mm.
your path.
You know, even though I get energy, chakras, Reiki, I never thought of it in terms of energy when it comes to trust. It's a very powerful energy, I got to believe.
Mhm.
There's a lot going on there when it comes to trusting somebody, and then most importantly, trusting yourself. Maybe that's the baseline. You have to trust yourself fully before you can trust others.
Yeah. I mean, trust has come up a lot in a lot of the circles I've been in the last 6 months.
Mm,
A lot of it comes down to, when I look at it, it's all about safety. Do I feel safe enough to move forward? What is the root of that? So a lot of that is safety. You will not do that trust unless you feel that safety to
mm.
open up, to have that trust. And they're deeply linked.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the one thing that we all want to feel safe? Ultimately, that's how we're wired.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. If you don't feel
Mhm.
safe, you're going to feel off. And the same thing in a relationship, even with yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me more about
Yeah. So,
trust.
well, rebuilding trust is obviously not something that happens in a single moment.
Mm,
You have to do it slowly. So there are a couple ways you can begin nurturing it in your everyday life. So think of, you can create small rituals of safety. So you create those small pockets of safety. Like you can light a candle. That's your small pocket. You can say an affirmation if you have one you like. Hold a crystal if you have one that you you like or have an affinity for.
Hmm.
Or spend time outdoors. A lot of people like to spend time outdoors with themselves. Each time you remind your body that it is safe, you strengthen your root chakra. So it's those rituals that you create and you continuously do and create those pockets of safety for yourself that builds on it.
Hmm.
Journal or speak your truth. Express what you feel. That, even if it's just to yourself, even if you're standing in the corner or talking to yourself, yes, it's okay to talk to yourself. You can activate the throat chakra and it clears those energy blocks and allows that is caused by those unspoken emotions. You need to get it out. You have to speak it, sing it, yell it, scream it, get it out. Practice that self-trust through Reiki. You can do it yourself. Place your hands over your heart, your belly. Just breathe deeply and simply ask, what do I need right now? Listen closely for that answer until that arises and just honor it. Engage with people who feel aligned and supportive. Surround yourself with energy that uplifts you and set boundaries that protect your peace. Don't be around the people that will threaten that safety that you're creating or make you feel bring in that negative energy for yourself and forgive yourself. We all have moments where we ignored red flags or stayed too long in situations that didn't serve us. That could be anything,
Hmm.
whether or not you went down the wrong street or you were in a wrong place or you were in a job where you really shouldn't have been or could have been a relationship, could have been anything. Forgiveness clears the heart space for new connections to form. So forgiveness for yourself is very key. But remember, trust is not about perfection. It's about presence, about returning again and again to your center, no matter how many times the world is shaking you. So it's all about you have to build yourself up.
What you said really stands out in the regard of asking yourself what you need. And I think that's universal in terms
Yeah.
of energy. Just sitting in silence, meditating, even writing it down. Same thing in a way, except you're transferring it from your brain to your hand to your to paper. Write it down, don't type it.
Yeah.
Um, what do I need right now? What would make me feel better? And sit with that. Uh, is that kind of universal in terms of, figuring out our energy, getting an answer, call it intuition.
If you think about it, we don't always check. If you think about it, we don't always check in with ourselves.
Right.
We check in with everybody else. We check in with what's going on. We check in with the situation. We check in everything else around the world.
Yeah.
But we don't often sit with ourselves, even for a minute, and say, well, what do I need in this minute? Or what do I need for this?
Hmm.
How do I need to move forward? Or what do I need to support me? And the more times that we take that, even if it's like 30 seconds, just to sit with yourself for a second and say, what do I need? I'm not talking like material things,
Hmm.
but emotional, physical things. What do I need? And then you can start looking at, okay, how do I get that? Where do I need to get that? Can I do that myself or do I need to ask for help?
Especially if you're feeling off and you can't put your finger on what's going on there, and just ask that question. You might get the answer, or get you, it
Mhm.
lead you closer to the answer. That I guess, Samantha, it comes back to trusting yourself that the answer will come up. Because if you say, "Man, it's not going to work," it's not going to work. It's just not.
Mhm. Yeah.
Same thing with Reiki. I'm sure, and maybe you've encountered this with people that you've worked with, where they're not really fully believing energy, Reiki, and all of that, and then they just kind of go through the motions. Maybe somebody suggested they try it, and they feel if they don't get the impact out of it because they were blocked energetically, I would imagine.
Well, I did an event this weekend there were a lot of different people where we gave Reiki sessions. So you had people who never heard of Reiki,
Mm.
and then some people who, kind of heard of it. So you had folks that were like, well, I don't know what this is, you know, they're real blocked off. And then you have people who are very open to whatever.
Mm.
So, but everyone experienced it a little bit differently. So the energy is going to work for you no matter if you believe in it or not. You may not feel it,
Ah,
but it will still work for you. You may not feel it right then, but it will still work for you through your week, through your day, through your month in different ways that you're not aware of. More closed off you are to it, obviously it's not going to work as much as it could. It cannot, you know, the energy is not going to come through and work for you the same way as to somebody who's a little bit more open, but everybody will have subtle ways it's going to come in.
wow. See, I didn't know that. Because I've heard or even experienced other modalities like hypnotherapy, which is another healing modality. And if
Yeah.
somebody's not believing it's going to work, and I experienced this with somebody I was close to, it worked for me great. So I suggested it, made a recommendation of who to use for hypnotherapy.
Hmm.
They did 3 sessions and said, it's not working. I'm not doing this.
Hmm.
I know that I know their personality very, very well. They
Hmm.
weren't open and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Um, on the Reiki side of things, if somebody is doubting, what I'm getting from you is that it will work, but not to the full extent that it may if somebody was completely on board for it.
Yeah. They'll still get some benefits from it.
Hmm.
It may not be like, oh, wide open,
Yep, yep.
but they'll still have some benefits. It may be subtle. They might see it in like their dreams
Yeah.
or like somewhere in their everyday life, maybe something will shift a little bit. Something small,
Mm.
but it will be something very subtle. Maybe something will ease a little bit that maybe they were holding on to. Maybe that's what is needs to be released.
Gotcha.
So it's whatever needed to be worked on.
Well, that is the beauty of Reiki, as I understand it. When you send the energy to somebody, it goes where it needs to go,
Yep.
which pretty amazing. Um, I want to make sure we leave time
Yeah.
for meditation.
Yep. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Take a moment and find a comfortable position, either sitting or laying down, and allow your body to settle. Close your eyes gently. Take a slow, deep breath in through the nose and exhale softly through your mouth. Let your breath become your anchor, guiding you to a calm, open space. As you breathe, imagine a soft golden light surrounding you, warm, gentle, safe. With each inhale, this light fills your heart. With each exhale, it releases any tension, doubt, or fear you may be holding. Now, bring to mind someone important in your life, someone with whom you wish to deepen trust. See this person surrounded by their own circle of light, radiant and peaceful. Between your hearts, a bridge of light begins to form, flowing softly, pulsing with compassion and understanding. As Reiki flows through you, allow this bridge to strengthen. Feel the light of trust expanding, steady, patient, unconditional. Breathe into it. And as you exhale, silently repeat, I trust. I am open. I am safe to give and receive love. Now bring this same light back to yourself. See it surrounding your own heart, reminding you that self-trust is the foundation of all connection. With every breath, feel yourself becoming more grounded, more confident in your ability to love and be loved. Take one final deep breath in and slowly release. Let gratitude fill your heart for this moment, for this awareness, the light of trust that continues to grow within and around you. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this feeling of warmth and connection with you, knowing that trust, like Reiki, is the flow that deepens each time you return to your heart.
They're always so good. I gotta tell you, like even in the beginning, lots of imagery. Like you said, picture certain things, people and such, and I did like very clear. Um, and then got into a zone. Like it just very comforting. Let me put it, that's the best. I'm trying to find a best description, but comforting, like a feeling of it's almost as if like there's a bubble around you and you're in your safe spot. I don't know if you feel that, others feel that, but that's where I'm like, all right, I'm here. I'm good. Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what I feel.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Is that what we should be feeling?
You should be. You should find your little bubble of safety.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that essentially what meditation is?
It is. It's your time to be with yourself and trust yourself and
Mm.
be with yourself in the moment.
Yeah, amazing. Um, Thank you for that. This is just a piece of what you do. You have meditations available on your website, right?
Yeah, I'm adding more every day. As I have time, I'm pulling them out of the podcasts and I'm putting them out there,
Hmm.
as well as I have added a individual meditation that you can sign up for. After a consultation, I'll do a individualized meditation with folks that you can sign up for.
Beautiful. Um,
Yep.
I don't think I've experienced a better name than the one you use for your practice, calmingvibrations.com. Like it says it all, vibrations, i.e., energy, it's vibration and calming. Like spot on. That's really, that is what it is. That's who you are.
Yep.
And anybody I'm sure can reach out for a Reiki session. It can be done anywhere virtually.
Yep.
And just, clear out the energy that might be stuck or maybe having you stuck when it comes to trusting or trusting again. Thank you for today, Samantha. As always, I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. We'll catch up soon.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.